Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. And I was thinking when I was coming on the stage of sharing with you two stories. The first story is related to where I come from a village of 12,000 people in the east part of Lebanon at the Syrian border. Since 2011 and over several months, we woke up in my village to see like we have at least 22,000 Syrian refugees on a village of 12,000 people. And these are part of around 2 million refugees who came to Lebanon since 2011 to a country of 4 million people in Lebanon. So every one of 4 in Lebanon is a Syrian refugee. And then when I go to my clinic, which is once a week in the village, I walk into my clinic and I think for a while, I'm a gynecologist. I'm not a pediatrician. And I see like my clinic full of young girls, 12, 13, 14, and 15 years old. And I look at them and they're pregnant. And then when I talk to the first young girl, are not you supposed to be in school or something? She said, well, no, I'm not in school. I'm not supposed to be doing something else besides being pregnant? She says, no, because I exist only if I am pregnant. My value is there only because I am pregnant. And this is now more important because with the increased toll of war and loss of people and everything, we have to make more babies to make up for the lost ones. So everyone in the clinic is kind of affirming their identity through their fertility and through childbirth and through getting pregnant. And then when I ask them about how often would you like to come, whether to my clinic or to other clinics, they say we prefer not to go often to the whatever primary healthcare centers around because we are not treated with dignity and we are not given the space that we need. Everybody starts talking to us. These are refugees, they're loud, they smell, and they come like, every pregnant young woman, she comes with 10, 15 people, and they hear all types of naming and shaming that prevents them from accessing proper care, which is the first violation of universal health coverage, and the first violation of preventing those women, or those young women, young girls, from coming to the clinic. And what is the result? The result is they end up doing 1 or 2 visits in the clinics as a pregnant woman, and they end up having so much complication because of neglected problems that we fail to identify in the pregnancy care. And the other story is, a man walks to my clinic with 3 women. And I thought, this is probably his wife, his mother, and probably his sister or his sisters. Yes, please come in. All right. And then they sit down and said, okay, who is the one who I can help and stuff? She said, I'm going to start with the first one. He said, the 3 of them, they have problems. They said, they are all my wives. He's coming in with 3 wives. I said, how come you have 3 wives? And they're coming at the same time to the clinic. He said, well, back in Syria, I married the first one. And then he points to the first one. And we spent 3 years, we had no kids. So I thought she has a problem in ovulation or she has a problem in her fertility. So I married the other one. And then 2 years later, she failed to get pregnant. So I married the third one. And I was like, the third one. And then again, after 3 years, no kids. So I thought this time I should test myself. So I'm coming to you and I'm telling you, if you can please make sure, because I have 3, I cannot afford the 4th. So please, if you can make sure, if I have enough quality sperm, stuff like this. 3. And then I said, okay, I did the sperm test and he has 0 sperm, azoospermia. And then they come the next week, of course, to check the results. And they said, okay, what are you going to do now? And the 2 younger wives said, please, you start with the first one because she is the oldest, make her pregnant, we take care of her baby, and then the next one, and then the third one. And then I was thinking, I mean, of course, this is a situation where those people are really wrecked up. They're damaged in their property, in their homes. They lost so many things. They're living in tented settlement. They make very tiny amounts of money. Most of them are in debt. And this guy, he's coming with 3 wives, willing to pay for IVF just to make 3 wives pregnant, like over 3 years or over 4 years. And this brings the issue to me of the importance of fertility, even among the crisis condition, even among the serious condition of war, and at the same time, the use of woman's body during the times of crisis as a factory to produce more people to replace for the lost kids and everything. And this whole militarization of woman's body at times of crisis. But also at the same time, it also gives us the impression that in many parts of the world, even under severe, serious conditions, you exist because you're fertile. You exist because you're pregnant. And you exist because you can give birth to sons, preferably more than to girls. And at the same time, this whole social structural violence against women, because she comes to me in another occasion, she says, if I'm not pregnant in the coming 3 months or 4 months, he's gonna divorce me and he's gonna be looking for another one. And she said, so what? Why even you're here in the first place? And she said, because my parents wants to marry me to somebody to escape sexual harassment, to escape sexual transaction that can happen in such conditions. And in fact, in my clinic, I hear many stories about women who do or obliged to do some kind of sexual transaction for sugar, for oil, for charging your phone, and so on and so forth. So this is the situation where you tell yourself, what I'm going to do? You have to take care of those women, although you disagree completely on those young girls being pregnant or even being in the marriage in the first place. But at the same time, you have so much neglected areas in their reproductive life, prevention of violence, sexual health, the whole issue of rights and dignity in healthcare, because with such a big amount of refugees, the money that's coming to help them is the money restricted only to pregnancy, childbirth, and vaccination. And there is no attention to the other aspects of their lifespan. So what we did from there, because this problem, I cannot stop it. This problem is not going to stop anyway. There is at least 25%, in one of the studies we did, 25%, fine. 25% during the study that we did among the refugees in Lebanon were married between the ages of 12 and 16. 25%. And 90% of all the adolescents who are either married or not married are willing to be married if they're not married and willing to have babies if they're married between 12 and 16. Because of the notion in their mind that you want to establish our identity in the society and you want to replace the lost kids during the war. What we did in brief is that we engaged the community of the refugees. We brought women who are passionate, who are like kind of leaders, young women. We engaged them in kind of training on delaying the pregnancy, on talking to these women, bringing them to school, to night shifts at school, and at the same time, for those who are pregnant and who are not showing in the antenatal care, to go to them, to remind them of the importance of coming to the antenatal care or going there with some kind of education with iron, with multivitamins, and so on and so forth. But this problem will continue to escalate. All what we can do is try to minimize the harm as much as we can in the face of this really grave problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, doctor. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So quickly,
Yep.
give us your 10-second, 20-second answer. How will you continue to use your power for change?
We have to continue to work with the community. We have to engage women in the community. We have to empower those who are passionate, who are really able to engage with us, so they can go back and try to work on delaying marriage, or at least engage those who are pregnant, who are there, to be part of the healthcare.
That's perfect.
Just work with the community of the refugees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.